back at Laguna Seca with a whole host of mods on the Supra. I can't wait to see what this car can do. I'm always excited. I'm always excited on track day. I'm not gonna lie. And if you guys have been with me for a little while, you'll know that even though I don't live closest to Laguna Seca of the tracks that I go to, this is pretty much like a home track to me because I've done more track days at Laguna Seca in my cars than any other track. So I know this track really well. Now there's a lot of mods, a lot of changes to the Supra since the last time we were here. In fact, all of the changes, because the last time we were at Laguna Seca with the Supra, the car was 100% stock. So today, it's quite a bit different than last time. Quite a bit different. We're gonna go over some changes, but more importantly, Jackie Ding is actually here today. I'm not gonna go and bug him right now, but he's actually here battling my good buddy, actually Will's Supra, piloted by Gary Wong, who is largely known as the fastest guy in Northern California, pretty much, in a Supra. So more or less fastest guy on the West Coast that we know of versus the fastest guy on the East Coast. So massive battle today, massive battle. They already did a battle at Sonoma yesterday and the day before. I won't spoil those results for you guys. You can go check out the battle at Jackie Ding's channel when he releases the video, and Gary Wong, the Elite Performance channel, when they release that video there. Both perspectives are awesome, so definitely go check that out. But now they're here today at Laguna Seca. I am not going to sit here for a second and pretend that I can even hang with these guys, okay? Because, you know, let alone from the standpoint of car development, their cars are both far more advanced than mine, even as nice as mine currently is. But they're both running, you know, 650 plus wheel horsepower. You know, depending which tune they're using, they could be upwards of 700 horsepower. So, you know, I'm still stock power. There's no way I'm even gonna see these guys. You know, I might perform a Fernando Alonso on them and just slow them down and block them the entire day. We're gonna finish getting the car set up here. It's almost done. Not a whole lot to do these days now that I'm rocking the Supra. Let's walk around the car and I'll show you some of the changes that I made since the last time we were out here. Okay, so if you guys will recall, Rich Farler with Dotiki Auto Solutions has been working tirelessly on my car to get it ready for today's event. There's so much stuff that has been changed, and I might be forgetting some of it, so bear with me. But let's start with the most obvious. I have the new EPR VRS version carbon fiber hood. This actually came from Supra A90 parts on Instagram, so if you guys are interested in the hood, definitely hit him up. His name is Miguel. He will certainly help you out. All these links will be down below in the description, guys, so don't worry if you miss it. This is definitely going to help with cooling, and it looks awesome. Love how aggressive it looks with these, with the ventilation on the side and on top of the hood. It looks super aggressive. You see the inlet pipe kind of peeking through the hood there. All functional cooling. All right, and then we also have, well, you can't really see it, but I have the auxiliary coolers hidden behind the bumper there. That's another change. Another change, one of my favorite things here that we had on the Type R, the AP Racing 9660 6-pot brake system, 6-pot caliber brake system. And we're actually using the same brake pads that Jackie Ding is on. I will post a link to that below, but so far they feel pretty darn sticky. And then first time today on the Nankang CRS tires. First time I'm using these. I usually go with my old faithful AO52s. I decided I want to give this a shot, and mainly because supply is just a hot mess right now. It actually took me a couple of months to get these tires in just because everything is backed up. So really excited to try these. The bigger story, and mainly why I don't have any interior right now, is because of this guy. Yes. So there it is. This is, and I'll be doing a video on this shortly, but this is the new, I mean, for now this is a custom roll bar, but this will be available to you guys if you want to purchase this for your Supra. So this is the roll bar that Rich Farler designed for the Supra, and it is in my car. Now, some very unique features about this roll bar that I'm excited to share about with you, but I'm not gonna go over all those details right now. I'll save that for another video, but just look how much clearance there is behind the seat. I mean, that's a lot of clearance. No more problem with the helmet, with the headroom. I got the Sparco QRTC dry carbon seat, super light, with Schroth 6-point harness. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And then the last big change, that is if I'm not actually forgetting anything, is this guy right here. I'm gonna do a separate video on this too. This is actually for my buddy Will's car. I'm dropping off for him, but this is a motor mount for the Supra with a 65D urethane bushing in between there. I'll go over this more in a separate video, but I just wanted to show you guys what that looks like. This is in my car right now. There's two of them, so that's one. Here's the other. Okay, they look very similar, but they go on separate sides of the motor. So in so many words, that greatly reduces the shift in the motor under braking, under turning, under acceleration. The motor mounts, the stock motor mounts in these cars are pretty soft, and there's a lot of shifting going around when you're putting force through the vehicle. So anyways, I'm going to finish getting set up. Just a couple more things here. We're going to be waiting for our first session. I always give you guys a time I think I'm going to do for today. I think I'm shooting for 1:37s. Yeah, that might be ambitious. It might be ambitious, but we're going to give it our best today. The car is going to feel totally different. I've never tracked this car with the current setup and the way it's sitting right now, so it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. I hope I kind of figure it out and put down a decent time for you guys today. I can't even tell you what I think Jackie Ding and Will's car with Gary driving it is going to do today, but I would not be surprised if they're going to be tickling the sub 130 today. Their cars are just monstrous, absolutely monstrous. So anyways, waiting for the first session, and then we'll head out. All right, well, that was very short-lived. Got out onto track a little bit late. Not that late, just a couple minutes. But there was a full course black flag. So right when I was getting, starting to figure out what the car is doing now, and it feels absolutely amazing. Go more into that in just a second. But yeah, somebody went off at the corkscrew, full course black flag, session stopped, pulled in. So didn't even really get the tires fully up to temp yet. And the car rotates so much better, so way better than it used to. In fact, I almost felt like the car didn't want to rotate before. And that's one of the inherent problems with the Supras, because it has a pretty flexible chassis for a sports car. Some of that is because it shares the same chassis as E4, and it's a luxury automobile chassis. So there's NVH considerations there when designing the car. And anyways, not gonna go into the whole BMW. It's a BMW thing, but what's important, the important takeaway here is the chassis feels so much stiffer, and the car feels like it actually wants to rotate. And it's not a snap steer thing, it's not a snap spin thing. It feels very controlled. It's just now I have to get used to how much the car will let me rotate it naturally, and then let it catch its grip, and then I can get back on the accelerator again, because there's definitely a higher ceiling of performance now that the car will let me rotate it a little bit more. So I'm really excited to see what it'll do. It's just that my session got cut short. So anyways, we're gonna walk around the paddock, maybe go talk to Jackie and Gary, and wait for the second session, head out. Session 2 done, and I hit 137. I hit 137, boys. We did it. We did it. Here's what I'll say. I set out a goal for myself today, and I achieved it. But the crazy thing is, I know there's at least another full second left. Even today. I mean, it is warming up a little bit here towards the afternoon, but the temperatures are still decent. I don't know, guys. If I can manage, the thing that I struggled with last session was that the tire temps got way too hot, and I could feel it. The tires were getting greasy, I was losing grip, and I was still below 140. I mean, I was just living sub 40 for most of the session. So 137, 139s, you know, 140, I was just there the whole time, even with the greasy tires. So if I can keep the PSI under control on the tires, I think I can do consistent 137s. I think I might even, I don't know, 136 might be a tall order, but I think I can do it. I think the car can absolutely do it. It's a question of whether I can pull it out today, but the car feels so good, so good. I'm having to relearn all of my braking points, how early I can come off of the brakes and how soon I can get back on the throttle, because it's totally different now. There's so much more grip in the car, and there's so much more confidence, and now that I know I can rotate the car, there's so much more I can do with it. Not this, you know, brake as late as you can, you know, and then lean into the brakes deep into the turn, and then get on the gas pedal, and all I used to do was just push. Now, I can get on the brakes when I need to, not just do it as late as I can, start modulating back onto the throttle, and the car rotates just beautifully through the turn. And so it's just learning the limits there, and I'm sure I can find at least another second. So super hyped, super excited about this. We're gonna wait for the next session, and I really can't wait to get back out there, guys. The transmission feels amazing too. We're gonna be talking more about that later, but stay tuned for next session. Session 3 done. Yeah guys, I made an adjustment to the tire pressures, and now I think I got it in the right spot. I'm putting a lot of heat into the tires for some reason. It might be, you know, the outside temperature isn't too bad, but the track temps are pretty high today. I'm not quite sure why that is, but yeah, so anyways, I took a few PSI out of each of the tires, and now they're in a good spot. I think I'm gonna play around with the Aero a little bit, the rear wing, which up until this point, I have not been able to do, because it used to be that I was getting too much understeer and the car was pushing, so I put it at as neutral an angle as I could to just keep the rear end on the ground, but not necessarily give me too much downforce, because I didn't want the front end lifting any more than it already was. But now with all of the changes that I've got in the car, there's no more push. The car, like I've been saying, rotates beautifully, absolutely beautifully. So you know, and I am starting to see where I'm still getting a little slippage, so I may try to add a little bit more angle to the rear wing just to see what that does. But I'm pretty happy. I mean, I'm really happy. One thing I should note, and I'm going to show you guys. Check this out. This is relevant. This is relevant information for those of you who are considering the MCS coilover system for yourself. So I took the adjuster knob off of the right hand side here. This is the driver's side. That's not broken. We just took the knob off, and the reason why we did is because you'll probably notice it's been contacting this side of the strut tower here. Okay, and if you look all the way on this side, the knob is not taken off, it's broken off. This whole piece in here for the adjuster knob snapped off, and then it was just sitting in there. I mean, we took it out, but it's been contacting this too much, therefore it snapped off, and basically it's not usable. So I can only assume, I don't know because I can't tell because my knob is broken, but I can only assume that my dampening settings are where I last left them, but I don't know. I have no idea, you know, because my knob is broken. I don't know where exactly it is. So now I've still got my rear suspension that I can still adjust. Nothing is broken back here, and the other adjuster knob is on top of the strut itself. You just need to reach in, but that's still working fine, so I can adjust the rear if I need to. But I like the dampening settings for the rear. If anything, I might want to firm up the front just one click, you know, just to see what it does. So instead of doing that, I'm kind of the school of thought where if you can, the softer you can leave the suspension, the better, because technically the softer it is, the more tire you can keep on the road, and you know, the better it's going to deal with bumps and such. That's a really general observation and statement, but you know what I mean. So instead of over stiffening the suspension, which is working great now because the car overall is so much stiffer, I'm going to play with the rear Aero a little bit just to see what that does, because the rotation is nice, but I'm definitely sliding the tires a little bit because I can carry so much more speed, which is great. So I'm going to see if I can take out some of that slip angle a little bit with just a little more downforce in the rear and see if that helps any. So I'm going to make that change now, and then we're going to wait for the next session, head out. The car is absolutely beast. It is absolutely beast. Here is the Spage splitter, and he's got the Spage front lip that goes with the splitter. Some of the secret sauce here is this guy right here. That's a tunnel that helps suck the air underneath the car and produce a lot of downforce. You notice the size of the end plates here too. This is a pretty good size end plate. Okay, now you go over to Jackie Ding's Supra. Looks a little different, right? First thing you notice is the end plate is a lot smaller. So this splitter, even though it looks identical to Gary's splitter on the surface, underneath is where the magic is with this splitter. So there's some differences in the tunnel design, and because of some of those differences, he doesn't need as much of a end plate on the side of the splitter to help with some of that downforce, therefore reducing drag. So that's really the big thing. The big thing in differences with the splitters is Jackie's is producing more downforce and less drag, and Will's is generating a lot of downforce but it's a little bit draggy. So yeah, still really amazing stuff. And then the other big difference is right back here. So this is a Spage rear wing. Beautiful. I love the swan neck design. All of these are functional. All of these holes are functional. So this produces a lot of downforce, okay? But because of the downforce that this wing produces, at speed, it can actually push a trunk lid down, and therefore will change the angle of attack of this wing if you're going fast enough. And then if you're not at the angle you want it to be, well then, you know, you're kind of losing downforce, or it becomes a little bit more unpredictable. So very, very sturdy, very sturdy. There's not a lot of people that are going to be generating enough downforce for that to be a problem. I'm just telling you now, both of these guys are running over 650 wheel horsepower. That is not me, and it's probably not you. So until you are running that kind of power and you can put anywhere close to the lap times that these guys are putting, this is already more than what will suffice for your needs. I promise you that. I promise you that. But if we look over here, we got Jackie Ding's Spage wing setup. He originally had this setup, which you probably know from his videos. It's gone to a chassis mounted setup. So it goes through the the hatch and braces to the chassis inside. But other than that, it is basically the same wing. So those are some of the key differences there. It's definitely much more aggressive aero than I have on my car currently. Both of those setups are going to be generating quite a bit more downforce. Anyways, just a little blurb on those two Supras, incredible cars. We're waiting for the next session. We're going to head out shortly. Session 4 done? Is it 4? I lost count. I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5. I don't know, but people need to stop wrecking and ruining my session. So another full course black flag for session 4. And that little tweak I made to the rear wing absolutely made a difference. I was on pace to get a new PB, and then the accident happened, the black flags, and I had to slow down. I was on pace to get into the mid 137 range. So I might have been able to improve my PB by about 4/10 or so, give or take. We'll never find out because I was I think three or 4 turns. 4 turns. I was 4 turns from finishing the lap. So I got, about 2/3 of the way through the lap, and then the black flag happened. But I was moving. I was absolutely moving. The car felt more planted. There was less slip in the rear end. It was still letting me rotate the car perfectly now. Now, I don't know if this just suits where my senses feel more comfortable at, or if that's just the better setting for the car. But whatever it is, I was definitely on pace to do a better lap. So super exciting, guys. I think I'm gonna hang out for one more session, just see what we got, because now I wanna get a proper hot lap in with that rear wing and see what it can really do. So we'll hang out for a bit, see what happens. Session 5 done. And I PB'd again. And I knew I was going to, and I'm still pissed because I knew I had a better time than what I got on the clock on the previous lap. So new PB, I did a 137.80. I'm pretty sure, God, it had to be low 37s on the lap before. It might have even peaked into the 36. I got overly confident and overly ambitious for turn 11. I messed it up on the last turn. You guys will probably see that on the video footage. I screwed up the last turn, but I mean, I saw it was green by like a second and a half off of my previous best. So, and had I just nailed that last turn, I could have shaved another 4 or 5 tenths off of it. It's just frustrating, but I'm happy. I'm so happy as to how well that car is handling, how well it's doing on track, how much confidence I'm gaining with that vehicle every second I drive it. It is amazing, guys. The combination of the mods right now is just so good, so good. I am gonna do a proper video on some of the changes that I have in the car, or that I've done recently, because you know I kind of just glossed over it today. But we'll definitely do a video on some of that stuff, because I really feel like some of those things made a key difference. And you know, the biggest takeaway for me today is that I feel exactly what the car is doing. And a lot of that is down to how rigid the chassis is now from the roll bar and the motor mounts. And I think probably besides that, my second most favorite thing is the transmission tune. Again, we'll go into more of those things at a later date. My buddy Gary Wong is doing a hot lap in my car right now. I'm sure he's gonna thoroughly embarrass my time. He's the one that pilots Will's Supra, the 700 wheel horsepower Supra that was battling against Jackie Ding today. Guy's incredibly talented, so I just wanted to see what he could do in my car. I'm sure he's gonna do way better than I did, but we'll see, guys. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed already, I'm telling you, this is the spot for Supra content. If you are modding your car for track use or just wanted to perform at a new level, you need to see what's going on and what we're doing with Dotiki Auto Solutions. It's going down. I'm telling you, it's going down. But that's it for today. Until next time, stay hungry, stay fast, stay tuned. I'm Michael Bagsy, and I'm out.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya. Probably why I never have time for the fake friends I won't be ya. Oh God, I've been running now. Up early when the sun is out. Not setting out my own soul, but those real ones, they coming out. Oh look who's reaching out. Old friends wanna feature now. They